within your community. Why didn't
15 a.m. Now you have a voice.
Before we get straight to who said what, I saw a particular update that I found really interesting. It's an update on traditional religious practitioners asking that traditional religion should now, knowing that some soldiers, 17 of the soldiers who were killed in that community, were laid to rest yesterday, and the president was there.
Welcomed, but as you know, action speaks louder than words, and so we do need to see action, and the only way to prove to unscrupulous elements in our community, criminal elements in our society, is to show them that the life of our soldiers does matter, and when they are attacked, we are not going to fold our arms or just culprits to justice. And that means we should not generally profile that community and treat everyone as a criminal, because we know that there are amongst these communities and communities around them people who are true Nigerians that love their country and had nothing to do with the crime. And the best way to stop criminality is to fish out the criminals rather than punishing both criminals and innocents. And so I think the first thing is for us to calm down and to be strategic in whatever investigation or step we want to take. The second is to work with the community. I can tell you in every Nigerian community, way to protect the whole community and to prove that they did not support what happened is to expose the criminals. It is unfathomable.
Okay, that was Boloma Bukati Audu. He is a prominent Nigerian analyst, social critic, a public intellectual, and also a human rights lawyer. But aside him talking about the situation in Okwama community, let's get to listen to an interesting opinion.
Before we go there, the soldiers were buried yesterday.
Yes.
And
this rise as a mark of honor to our departed colleagues. May I also remind officers and warrant officers in uniform to salute at the release of each volley shot. Firing party commander, please, carry on.
Interesting opinion of Alan Onyema, the CEO of Airpeace, talking about living in the UK and also living here in Nigeria vis-a-vis the standard of living and earning salaries. Let's get to listen to him quickly.
Even the food inflation we're having, many of these are artificial. Everything is dollar. The dollar has become the.
I support what Mr. Cardoso said. Calculate it, 2,000 naira to a pound. That guy is earning so much, 4 million. The person
inside the economy,
the person earning 200,000 naira in Nigeria is better. You might have a maid, you might have a driver, and
No, not everyone would agree with that.
Okay, you heard that, Gessi. He said you can earn 200,000 in Nigeria. You have a maid, you have a driver, still out of the 200,000 naira. But earning 2,000, pounds in the UK is almost synonymous to you even.
An equal amount. It's going to be taking. In fact, let's not even get into it too much. But the point is, I actually support what he's saying. I support it. Yes.
Okay, no problem. Some will say I'd rather go and earn that 2,000 pounds and then spend it in pounds than earning 200,000 naira and spending it in naira right here. But that is who said what right here on the Front Page Review on Voice of the People and 96.1 FM. We quickly go on a break. When we come back, we'll be having our conversation.
Weekdays at 7:15 a.m. Now you have a voice.
I'm coming in hot.
Now you can enjoy the original taste of premium American.
Traveling to Lagos and desire a perfect getaway?
Look no further than the luxurious accommodations at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, number 42 Murtala Mohammed International Road, Lagos.
Relax and unwind in our beautiful appointed rooms, featuring all the amenities you need.
Vacation, Airport Golden Tulip Hotel is the perfect choice for your next vacation or business trip.
So why wait? Book your stay today and experience the ultimate in comfort and luxury at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel.
For bookings and reservations, please call 0815-8003-333 or 0815-7003-333.
Good morning to you and welcome. This is the Front Page Review on Voice of the People, 96.1 FM. My name is Gesiri Agua. In battle, then that's a different conversation. But this is a communal clash, and they had to die, in the hands of the community. So, just how important is this for Nigeria as a whole to learn a lesson and protect our soldiers?
I mean, very sad one. We feel for their families, very sad one. They were duly honored, during national honor yesterday. Very sad one for our country. Very sad one for our country. We just pray they rest in peace. Thing happened, so let's just be careful. Let's say the truth totally. While we also commiserate with our thing happened, so let's just be careful. Let's say the truth totally. While we also commiserate with our troops, and let's get to the end of the matter. There's been many stories. I mean, we know this is more than even the community clash itself. It's pretty much about resource. There's a resource angle to it. Big deal. Revenue is not really great for the country to speak, because you need productivity.
All right, we're having some connectivity issues right there, but we'll try to reconnect with El-Rufai right now.
Okay, apologies for that. Okay, we just hope that the network gets friendly so we can have a smooth conversation. He was saying something about Presidential Economic Coordination Council. We also have the likes of Tony Olumelu, who is the chairman of UBA. Boa, that's Abdul Samad Rabi, is also part of that council member.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Good. So as I was saying, we're fighting on many fronts on the economy. So the possibility of that, working out, I think this team will just be able to do some work of advisory. It's still incumbent on the fiscal side to be able to fix the economy. Obviously, these are some of the stakeholders, but it will not be about them. It will also be about the government's work. So, pretty much like...
And knowing that the president is doing what he wants to do, is trying his best to ensure that we have economic recovery.
So, I mean, laudable, I'm very iffy about the word laudable. You know why? Because normally, based on the constitution, the vice president is supposed to lead an economic council of some sort.
Very true.
Where it's supposed to be as we say. You also heard the CBN governor say that tremendously. That okay, the monetary side, we're trying to put in our own side to it. We're fighting on different fronts for the dollar. We are injecting capital into the BDCs and the forex market. We're trying to stabilize the currency, but the fiscal side really did not come up. I mean, we're getting a lot of hot money to defend the dollar through FPIs, foreign portfolio investments, and things like that. But apart from that, was always a fiscal angle to it, where there's productivity, there's production in the economy, our roads, logistical costs comes down, and things like that. So there are many parameters for economic growth.
Okay. In other words, we shouldn't start celebrating yet
until
they deliver.
I don't know, but celebration is premature because we have many milestones to cover.
All right. Okay, let's move on to the National Assembly. This is a face-off between Falana and Akpabio. And Falana has issued Akpabio a 7-day ultimatum to reinstate Ningi or face law charge until now.
Are Nigerians really silent about it? Are we really?
No, definitely. Nigeria gets silent about everything. It's just, the news cycle is 3 days per week. The best Nigeria will shout about something is 3 days per week. And that's why politicians take us for granted in this country, because they know before the people will just talk and they'll move on. As regards that, Falana should not even give us. He should go to court. I mean, Ningi has his rights according to the law, but he should go to court and state his point and state his views. I think we want to do that suspended that way. He went to court, so let him go to court. Simple.
As much as you say let them go to court, Falana is a lawyer. Yes, we know that. He's representing Ningi now.
But increasing their budget. So do you expect the president to condemn the same people he's trying to strike deals with? He will never do that. But at the end, who suffers? The country is with these because of these excessive funds that we are shelling out in the budget, and it's not going to anything. The frivolousness of the project.
All right. Having this particular situation, right? Are we going to see Ningi? Is it possible for us to see Ningi face the full suspension or be reinstated?
Depends on Ningi, depends on how quick Ningi was.
Abure was reinstated, and they've also thrown a vote of confidence on Peter Obi. Talking about 2027, that's possibly the floor will be open for him. There might not be any rival. But now the NLC have kicked against that particular convention, that they weren't part of it, and it doesn't stand.
With due respect, the Labour Party stinks as we speak today. In fact, scratch that. I'm going to withdraw my respect. The Labour Party stinks. It's in disarray. They had a convention that INEC did not come to monitor. What's it called? OT2 was not present.
Tony Nwoye himself, a senator, wasn't there.
So that's to show you that the party stinks as we speak. And that speaks volumes as regards political parties and successes. I think the albatross of the Labour Party is the success, the money that came into the party, the good they enjoyed from the people, that just grow with the party. And I think the party, if care is not taken, will be condemned to the dustbin of history very soon, because nobody will ever take them seriously.
Wow.
If you go to the Labour Party in England, you see the close relationship between Unite and the Labour Party itself. I really remember the close partnership between Len McCloskey and Jeremy Corbyn then. So the NLC owns the Labour Party. So this is not a fight for the protection of the soul of the Labour Party. So they do have the right. And that's why you saw that judgment by Justice Gabriel Kola was very apt in 2018.
All right.
Much.
Okay, looking at the fact that INEC is the body that's supposed to regulate election or electoral matters here in Nigeria, shouldn't they be the ones to uphold all the rules and the laws, and then let the onus fall on them to drag all the other political parties or all the other parties involved to ensure that they actually toe that same line?
Runoff elections, what was done, how much was expended. So until INEC comes out to tell Nigerians, based on the figures, this is what we expended, this is what we have, then they can now hold political parties accountable and start asking them, your spending, was it in tandem with the provision of the Electoral Act, or did you exceed it? And those who are found culpable of exceeding or going beyond can now be maybe charged to court. Of course, disciplinary action be taken against them. So you can't believe police is what we left. It is not even the Labour Party itself. It's just the campaign arm of the candidate itself that came out. So until these parties and even the institution INEC itself come out to tell us the figure, only then can we hold anybody accountable.
All right, let's go ahead and pay some bills. When we come back, we'll be speaking with Mr. Larry, who's standing by at the moment. Remember that we're live on YouTube at Voice of the People Abuja. Voice of the People Abuja.
Enjoy the original taste of premium American Romeo's Pizza. Juicy, just the way you like it. To order online from Guarimpa, call 090-8831-5908. Gariki 090-8831-5906 and Lupe 090-9238-9861. Romeo's Pizza, the pizza champions.
Coming in hot, just like the way you
But a few. We offer flexible payment plan handled by our financial department with 24/7 customer care support system. You can visit our website on www.iruka.com to avoid buying fake products. You can also visit our showroom at number 36 Lagos International Airport Road beside Golden Tulip Hotel. Iruka, never settle for less.
Today's sun is so hot though.
So what are you waiting for? Get the authentic taste of creamy cold berry ice cream.
Tulip Hotel, number 42 Murtala Mohammed International Road, Lagos.
Relax and unwind in our beautiful appointed rooms, featuring all the amenities you need for a comfortable stay.
Now, whether you are traveling for business or pleasure, our attentive staff is here to ensure that your every need is met. We also offer complimentary pick-up and drop from the Lagos airport.
Why not take advantage of our state-of-the-art fitness center, outdoor pool, and
at airportgoldentuliphotel.com.
Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, where luxury meets comfort.
Believe me.
You can take the boy out of radio, but you can't take the radio out of the boy, can you?
Broadcasting in high definition.
Voice of the People. 96.1. An election where the INEC wasn't there to observe. You wonder what the quality of that election would be as well. Then we also checked out this issue of the 2023 election expenses. Looking at a year after, INEC, APC, PDP, and 14 others have been quiet, very, very silent, really deafening silence on the financial disclosure of the
of accountability.
I think we do a lot of talking without doing in this country. It's sad because this is something that we all were talking about, the effect of money on our politics, the effect of too much cash-driven campaigns and elections and all of that. And we have laws that stipulate intention to even try, because there are some things that we can generate. I mean, there are some figures we can generate, assuming we don't want to rely entirely on their own submissions. An intelligent person can actually come up with some kind of estimate. For instance, there are television jingles, there are adverts, there are radio jingles, there are campaigns. But then I think if this had been done, we would have gotten something by now. But it shows you how indifferent we are to the critical challenges we have. The politicians do not want to be accountable to anybody when it comes to money. They want to be able to use money anyhow to emasculate the rest of us who may not have stolen money and stored up for political campaigns and all that. So it's sad that 1 year after the election, no noise, nothing, no conversation about it. But it's not in cost because everything is supposed to be transparent. Here, everything is opaque. Nobody wants you to know what you see.
That's the legislature's, disciplinary council.
Well, one of the things we need to do in a democracy is to make sure that we explore a court ruling that has been interpreted this way and that way. But I think the most important thing is that Falana has the right to intervene. He's a Nigerian, he's a lawyer. Mm-hmm. If he thinks he has a case and he wants to go about it by, first of all, giving the party notice to correct himself, or he will proceed. That is acceptable. It's left for us to see what Akpabio will do, how he will respond. But the truth is that we have not had the last of this. The beauty of democracy is the fact that we are supposed to be calling the shots. I've always maintained that if he thinks that due process wasn't followed, yes, he can. If he thinks that due process wasn't followed, yes, he can. He can do what he's doing now. That is call out the Senate President and ask him to do the needful. But if the Senate President thinks that everything they did was in order, then maybe they should meet in court ultimately after they have exhausted other means of resolution.
Okay, now looking at the threat of Femi Falana saying he's going to report Akpabio to the LPDC, which is the legal practitioners. He wasn't acting as a legal practitioner; he was acting as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I'm a novice in this case.
Whose job it is to
let me point out something. The legal profession is not supposed to be an ordinary profession.
Okay.
The part of the issue of misconduct is not only when you're acting your capacity as a lawyer.
Okay.
For instance, if a lawyer is convicted of stealing or robbery, the person is not acting his capacity as a lawyer, but it affects the person's capacity to remain on the roll of the bar.
Okay. We just needed that clarification.
So that by virtue of the nature and claim that she wasn't driving the car, that her brother was driving, just a minor incident. But because she lied and tried to maintain the lie and confuse the law, just a case of overspeeding. What happened was that when they investigated and verified that she lied consistently and intentionally, she lost everything, including the fact that her name was removed from the bar. She can't practice law in the United Kingdom. Moved from the bar. She can't practice law in the United Kingdom. That is a country where things work. If you are going to be a lawyer, you should be about promoting crime and helping people evade crime. So we have that problem that people think that, you can do anything as long as it's not about what you do in court. No. the profession demands that you behave in a way that is consistent with the noble ideals of the profession, especially when it comes to not getting involved in criminal matters, following due process and all of that. The person shouldn't be seen to be sabotaging lawyers in trouble. Okay. I mean, I've been involved in a case where a lawyer allegedly stole a property, and because it was established, the missing property was found in his possession. Come and see a beg everywhere. That is, everybody was like, no, this will ruin him. If this matter goes to court and is convicted, that's the end. But it was stealing. It wasn't a legal matter.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. I just needed
before making that. Taking that position.
Okay.
All right. So we're seeing Gombe State approving 43 billion naira for the governor's residence, high court, assembly complexes. So
I want to be nice about this. It's totally irresponsible. Where is the man living now? Where did the previous governors live? Were they living under the tree? I mean, why do we have this appetite for looking for bogus projects that we just use to deceive the public and, if you want to put it simply, swindle them? Because there is absolutely no basis for this kind of project at this time. The man should be thinking of how to invest money in such a way that jobs will be created. Actually, they sold Uhuru Park to Moi's son-in-law. I think it was Udi Gechaga, one of those guys. And when they wanted to develop the Uhuru Park, the women went and picketed. They sacked. Everything was done. Okay, don't build this house. We don't need it. You are our governor now. I mean, you have been living in a state house. Other governors live there. They are not complaining.
Funny enough, Mr. Larry,
build a small guest house. I don't understand these guys
since
anymore.
2003, when the former governor Abubakar Habu, when he vacated that particular residence, all the subsequent governors of the state, including Danjuma Goje, Ibrahim Dakombo, they did not stay at the official governor's residence that was located at the government house. Each of them were staying at their private residences, despite several renovations to the edifice.
Do not write the proposal so that people will benefit. They write the proposal so that their pockets will become bigger, richer. They are not thinking of the benefit. So when you look at the quality of most proposals, they are not thinking of the good. They stand this kind of money. When Nigerians are crying, when there are so many things we can do with money, has it finished with all the infrastructure there? Go and check the state of the schools there. Check healthcare in that same state. Check basic things that people need. And you are not talking about those things. You are talking about building houses for something below. They are taking a cue from the vice president's lodge now. We like building houses. So with what I mean, go to other African states, go to other African nations and see what the first day in building and rebuilding. I can tell you how many states that have built new government houses when it's absolutely unnecessary. And how old are these states that are still building government houses? Okay, United States of America, how long have they lived in the White House? Go and check. Almost 2 centuries. And we are building government house every 10 years. What is wrong with us? Don't they realize that the government house should be a monument? It should be a monument. It should be a piece of architecture that will reflect the heritage of that state, and it should be there. If you want, you come, you redecorate it, but you leave it. You're not even supposed to be knocking it around every day. It's not your property. It's the property of the state. So we have fundamental problems, and the people find what to eat and send our children to school. We need to get to that point where we'll tell them, see, you are our governor, this is our government house, go and live there. I mean, when you were campaigning, you didn't tell us we are going to. Did they tell us these things, that I'm going to build a new government house with 40 billion? Why don't they tell us some of those things? Then when they win, they start telling us stupid things. But when they are campaigning, they will tell us lofty things that sound good. It's sad, but the people should learn to behave like Kenyans. Go there, sit down, say, no, we don't want you to do this. And refuse. We need to learn to refuse. This is a democracy. We have a right to picket. We have a right to do sit-ins. We have a right to disagree.
All right. Right now, we're seeing, in another story, we're seeing the Hajj fare hike. Kano announces 1.4 billion naira subsidy for intending pilgrims. 1.4 billion naira subsidy for intending pilgrims. The Kano state government. Now, the question is, especially for the Muslims, right? It's a very, very sensitive conversation that we're about to have. So, seeing as some individuals in the state have not even been able to eat, is this a major priority for the governor?
I think if we have to subsidize things, we have to start with something that is very fundamental, and that is education. How we decide is not just about people to go to Mecca or Jerusalem. When we have not subsidized for our children to be educated, when people are dying because they want to procure food, that they want to get food, and then they die, they are stomped to death. So I think we need to prioritize. We are too religious in Nigeria, both the Christians and the Muslims. We are too religious. We need to become realistic about meeting our needs as a nation. If we have money, like we say in Nigeria, if we have change, that we have money to throw around, we should start from the most important things. And one of the things we're not giving a pride of place in Nigeria is education. When you educate a population, a lot of things change. If you don't educate a population and make them believe so much, and I must also explain clearly here that I don't have anything against anybody going to Hajj or pilgrimage, but I don't think we should use state funds to subsidize those things because they are not necessary for both Christians and Muslims. They are luxuries in those two religions. What I'm thinking a governor could do is to motivate people who can afford it to sponsor pilgrims